Well, judging from the carving on your desk, it looks like his name is Ozzy.
Yes, and apparently he rules.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Everybody who knows me knows that I despise Taylor Swift. And the reason why is because she's way too overmarketed. She's not nearly as talented as people say she is. And her fans are cultists, right? I mean, I got some shit when Ozzy Osbourne died because I was really upset. There's a difference between that and having books on your shelf that look like they're pages ripped out of a Bible dedicated to Taylor Swift. It's very, very odd. And her fans, oh my God, if you say anything wrong on the internet and they get wind of it, they will swarm you. They will not let you have any peace because no one has any right to say anything critical about the bimbo Tay-Tay, right? So she got engaged. I know. Everybody here, we're all Generation X and or millennials or Zoomers who have more of an elevated view of the world than Taylor Swift fans. And we're like, so what? Big deal. You know, some of us are actually still mourning Ozzy Osbourne, as it turns out, because he actually did change music. Difference between Taylor Swift and Ozzy was one of the godfathers of heavy metal. He created a genre of music. Taylor Swift? Dunno. But anyway, apparently her unhinged fans took to, I don't know if this came out of Reddit or if this came off of Instagram, but when you read it, the idiot is pissed off because Tay-Tay isn't a dyke or bi. I mean, the girl has always dated men, but that never stops people like this. I could show you reams of garbage dykes and lesbos and weirdos have put out there about Princess Leia. Again, they try to take what's yours and own it because they want visibility. They want people to see them, which is like, God, you're kind of narcissistic, you know? You might want to have that looked at, you know? But I find this really annoying that we're seeing this with an actual real human being, this following. But then I'm reminded of something else, which I will get into in the other half of the video. We have a bunch of girls who have issues, emotional fucking issues, to the point where the internet has exasperated these this anxiety, this weird relationship they have with movie stars that don't give a shit about them and singers. It's to the point where it's dangerous because they worship this person. Now, I'm pretty sure I probably knew people in high school that worshipped Ronnie James Dio and Ozzy and Vince Neil and Nikki Sixx and, you know, but it was different. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have this idea that we knew them. Now, sure, if you remember what happened to Rebecca Schaefer, the young actress that was in like 1989, right around them, she was murdered by a stalker. this is where this is going, by the way. Now, I'm sure Tay-Tay has had stalkers at the old chocolate whiz wing. I'm sure Kelsey has had that. But putting this crap out there, I mean, look what you're reading here, and ask yourself, what is wrong with this fandom? And have we seen it before? Yes, we have seen it before. But these girls have graduated to being obsessed with a real human being and not a fictional couple, characters, and being obsessed with the actors. Let's go and talk about that, because this is going to open up an old bugaboo that pissed off everybody. So let's talk further.
Pardon me. I have to go poke out my mind's eye.
Roger, at Cornell University, they have an incredible piece of scientific equipment known as the tunneling electron microscope. Now, this microscope is so powerful that by firing electrons, you can actually see images of the atom, the infinitesimally minute building block of our universe. Roger, if I were using that microscope right now, I still wouldn't be able to locate my interest in your problem.
Before Taylor Swift took over the mantle of cult leader and marching band leader of a cult following, something else was going on. And I wouldn't doubt that the girl that was complaining in that statement that Tugs found is a Reylo, or was a Reylo, till they killed him off. And I mean Kyle Ron. But they were once obsessed with not only an actor who, let's put it this way, my dog's shaved ass looks better than Adam Driver. I'm not kidding you. Obsessed with an actor, but they were more obsessed with the character he played and lost their perspective. Because when they saw him, they thought he was Kylo Ren. Ben Solo. What an original idea, JJ. And, you're kind of going, what? Wait, what? What has happened to girls? Now, rewriting Ripley Pod, Data Racer back in the day discovered that basically they were run by a bunch of Reylos, and a lot of those bitches are still there. We had a run-in with, was it last year? They were trying to deplatform Ethan Van Sciver at one point because he was going after him. The thing about it is this. These girls who are Swifties were once getting their panties in a wad over Adam Driver's character, Kylo Ren, and they were obsessed to the point there was a lot. I mean, people were fearing for the safety of Adam. They were fearing for the safety of his wife because she'd been threatened. They were fearing for the safety of his kids. And Disney, thank God, killed him off. And then they went, back to Tumblr and haven't come back. We haven't, seen any Reylos in a long time. In fact, the sequel trilogy is losing more and more interest for people. But you got to go back and remember our reactions to this. Watched The Force Awakens. The guy is violent, he's abusive, he's batshit crazy, and he skull fucks Rey. That's hot. What? That's hot to these girls. Apparently, mommy and daddy let them read 50 Shades of Grey when they were 12 or some shit like that. And this whole idea that this was a headcanon that suddenly became a thing, and Disney, instead of ignoring it and making sure that they wrote a good story, followed the internet trend, and we got a so-called Reylo kiss that the writer of the novel, The Rise of Skywalker, aka The Rise of Palpatine, called it a kiss of graciousness or thank you for saving me. That's what it was. And then Kyle Ron dies, and all the Reylos start crying and have these fantasies that somehow Kyle Ron impregnated Rey through means other than, whatever. And it's like, what? And they got really mad. I mean, the video of them at a screening, I think it was in San Francisco, screaming bloody murder, was like, this is unfucking believable. And a lot of these women were morbidly obese, middle-aged cat ladies. And a lot of them were misinformed, misguided adolescent girls, right? And so we go from, Reylo to Taylor Swift. And again, there are real people involved. But the cult following of Taylor Swift, the only thing that I look at as being kind of a connection is the mythology that she's built up around herself, where people don't see her for who she is. Now, trust me, I'll get a Swiftie going, you don't know what you're talking about. We all know who Taylor is. No, you don't. You don't see her get up to have to go to the bathroom. You don't see her get up with no makeup on in the morning and grab a cup of coffee, right? You don't, they don't want to hear the truth. And Taylor Swift was, evil or clever enough to create this fantasy. And I'm going to say, I know, what is it? The University of Tennessee has a class on her songs. Her songs. There aren't any classes on, Beatles songs or heavy metal where you could actually suss out the lyrics of War Pigs by Black Sabbath and other things. But they have a class on the breakup songs of Taylor Swift. All right, okay. And to me, when I look at this, it is a cult. This is a cult. But Reylo was a cult too, that Disney broke. And I'm thinking someone, probably in marketing, realized that these crazy blue-haired land whales and these psychotic single cat ladies that run angry feminazi podcasts like Rewriting Ripley were hurting Star Wars. And they were. They were. And if you think about it, Daisy Ridley has not been in a big movie since. The reason why? Because she got steamrolled. Not just by the poor direction and poor writing. She got steamrolled by a marketing campaign that didn't give two shits about the actors. Adam Driver, I'm sure he goes to bed at night looking out the window of his house wondering if there's some insane Reylo hiding in the bushes. Still, right? This is the thing. There's in the internet age, this Reylo shit was the first time I noticed it. There are a lot of really mentally unstable women from the ages of like 15 to 65 who glom on to a thing like Reylo. Some retarded blue-haired land whale decides that, oh, they should have a romance. Star Wars needs a romance. What the fuck? Okay. And instead of actually writing a romance that was inspiring, like Han Solo and Princess Leia, Anakin and Padme, Indiana Jones and Marion, they came up with an abusive, psychologically unstable relationship. And these girls thought it was hot. They came up with all of these excuses for him. He might be autistic. Well, these headcanons saying Han used to abuse him. Or this, think of it. And you will see what you heard back then. I've got the videos here to prove it. You will see what I mean. And now the attention has gone on to a living human being whose only fiction is the marketing campaign and mythology she created for herself. Right? And, you read that statement, I don't know where it came from, be it Reddit or X or Blue Skies or God knows where, but it is the same mental illness. These women are lost. They don't have anything that enriches their souls and their lives, so they fixate on this, on Taylor Swift, or on Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, and fucking Reylo. That, hey, Disney did not intend to create the mythology of Reylo. The Reylos did it themselves. The moment where they saw the ugly as fuck guy and thought he was hot because he might have reminded them of, one of the vampires from Twilight. I don't know. Right? So, Taylor Swift, we've seen this before. I hope your security is beefed up. Travis, I hope your security is beefed up too. I like neither of you. One plays football for a team I hate, and the other one is writing checks her talent someday will not be able to cash. Because eventually everyone's going to go, the Empress has no clothes with Taylor Swift. Anyway, I want to thank Jason Hunt and his wife Mindy for finding this out for me and getting me all fired up, because this just it actually, the shit about Reylo just gives me PTSD. It really does. Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.